One moment. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Those of y'all in the state of Texas and abroad, what's up? It's your boy Paul Miranda coming live direct from the box. It's the Real Talk Nation trying to give you something new, something fresh, definitely keeping it different from all the rest. Tonight's show, y'all, created quite a bit of controversy in the streets out there, man. We had an issue a couple of weeks ago regarding an overseas player that we might have stumbled across something on there, man. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We have one of our guests, we had two guests scheduled for tonight to talk about their programs as well as the European connections that they have and how they get things settled and so forth to make sure that their kids are legit. But one canceled out on us tonight. Tonight, we're going to have the great UMANA to come on and talk about TACA. That's one of the newer, if you will, that's one of the newer preparatory schools in the DFW. We got Universal, RWG, I think it is, a couple of guys, a couple other ones, man. I not sure of all of the prep schools because I don't really get into the prep schools, right? And part of the reason being is exactly the reason why we're talking about the European player and so forth. So I'm going to get back into that in a little bit because we're gonna have Ani on around like 9 o'clock-ish, right? So I wanted to, go from like 8:20, 8:30 to 9 o'clock with Spring Creek Academy head coach Manur Bengalia. I don't know how to say his name. I hope I didn't butcher his name. They respectfully declined as of 25 minutes ago and didn't like the potential of the dialogue that could have been expressed and throughout tonight's show. So, they heard in the streets that people were coming to him saying, "Hey, don't do it, man. Paul's gonna blindside you." All of a sudden, Paul is the boogeyman. I'm blown away by some of you guys out here that are representing our kids. My thing is apparently a lot of you that fear me are really, really upset because I won't say upset, but you fear me because I cause a problem to your money. And I am okay with that. You know what I'm saying? And those of y'all that roll with them kind of guys kind of let me know the same thing, that you're down with how they do that. You know what I'm saying? Their motives and their ideology is the same, or you roll with that, then that's on you. That's cool. I'm here to educate the masses out here of how to stay away from people like you. Be honest with you, because I'm for these kids. A lot of you are for your pockets and your bills, and I get that. no problem there. But so I'm trying to get, okay, there we go. Trying to get all my stuff right quick before we go off into everything. Again, you guys know me. I've been doing this for years. This isn't my first time doing a podcast like this. We were one of the originals in the podcast business. I won't say I was the first. Some people get upset with me saying that, but definitely was the first here at the DF Tub, right? But just trying to make sure everything is going good. Hang on a second. I'm trying to make sure this is on. We're good here. Let me just make sure. Yep. Okay, we're good on FaceTime. And I just got to check one more thing right quick before we get really into this thing. Let's check YouTube, make sure it's going properly. And hang on 1 second. Go to my channel. Where is my channel? And it says your channel right there. Boom. And let's go check it out. All right, we're good. Just make sure you can hear. All right, we're good. All right, so long story short, we're gonna dive into the European player, overseas player. How legit really are they? I didn't have a whole lot that I had wanted to discuss. This thing started out originally with the Spring Creek Academy group, saying that they could bring on some agents, they could bring on some try to get on. Well, let me say try to bring on, and then try to bring on some of the French organization or French BBA representatives to talk about the certain levels of their professional league and so forth. So we'll get in that in just a minute. Order of topic first right now. I definitely want to talk about this weekend. I was at the Gasso this week. A lot of y'all were at the Circuit League chasing the top players as usual. You know me. I'm trying to follow. I'm trying to get into the lower level guys, man, as well. I want to do what I can do. I want to find hidden gems. I want to make sure you guys understand my motive in all this. I can't help Keontae George. He's a made dude already, right? I can't help Carson Wallace. He's a made dude already. Most of those Nike kids are already made. How can I be of service to them? You understand what I'm saying? I'm in it I'm in it to look at the other guys, man. So hang on a second. I'm sorry. Hang on, y'all. Everything's going all shebang on me right now because I'm trying to answer text messages at the same time. UMANA just texted me, and let me go send him his email as well right quick. Bear with me 1 second, y'all, for him to check in. But I want to make sure that we're crystal clear on what I do. I like finding hidden gems that all those other guys are scared to go talk about. One of the guys I've really been talking about a lot this week, that a lot of the powers that be in this game don't really want to talk about. Now Gasso's talking about him now, so I guess I can't be down about somebody finally recognizing Dallas Hobbs. Big shout outs to to the people at TexasHoops.com. They put out some good stuff on Dallas Hobbs, who I think is going to have an incredible summer this year. He's off to a hot start already. He's scoring and he's distributing. Getting his teammates involved left and right, and he plays for Lone Star. And if you've seen Lone Star, Lone Star is pretty good. They got some decent play. They got a couple of great exceptions, where I'm not too high, too fond of that, but it is what it is, and that's what they have. So But I like the fact that he's getting to show. He's getting to show what kind of point guard he is and can be. So I'm really excited about him. Another guy that I was super impressed with this weekend. Let me just pull this up right quick. Uh, um, Another unsigned senior right now. My dude, let me just pull this up. Um, Aaron Jacob for Syntax Lockdown, y'all. Um, Aaron, wow, man, what can I say about this kid? 6'8", y'all, has a strap. And if those of y'all that don't know what a strap is, strap means that gun. Let it go. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? This dude can shoot it from anywhere behind the arc, y'all. I've watched Syntax Lockdown for the last 3 weeks now, 2 weeks, and I'm very impressed with that whole group. They've got some guys, man, that can really hoop. I want to bring theirs up right quick. Hang on a second. I had that up a while ago, didn't I? This thing just not coming to my. There it is. I'm sorry. I was and I said Syntax. I'm sorry, ATX. They're not going by the Syntax thing anymore. So the ATX lockdown 17U roster is pretty good. I'm looking at it right now. Aaron Jacob was the only unsigned senior, and again, I want to reiterate this: how this kid is not signed especially by some of the D2 teams in the country, especially in the Lone Star Conference. I definitely think he can play. This kid can shoot. He was good under the boards. I don't understand why this kid is not someone that's on everybody's radar, especially in D2. I definitely think he's a low one D2 kind of player. He needs to put on a little weight and so forth. But that jump shot, man, it's for real. I'm telling you, he shoots it like he's a guard, man. So again, I'm just blown away that the fact that this kid is not on someone's college roster already. Another guy that I was super impressed with this weekend. Houston Top Guns showed me a little something this weekend, man. Their roster is pretty good. One kid that I was really liking. He has a college ready frame, man. I mean, dude got up and down the floor very well. Banging on the rim, man. He was killing that rim. Like I said, I was super impressed with him. Chris Brown of A&M Consolidated. A little nervous about Chris, man, and that whole scenario. Again, I and I know this is I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm getting a little what do you call it, superstitious or whatever. I hate talking about guys I can't Google. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, the guy, I had already done the write up and all that on, and he sent me some information on him. So big shout out to Chris Brown, and that's spelled Kris Brown, not the dancer talking about you're the only one I need. Oh, what was that song you said? Run it, you can run it. Anyway, Chris Brown banging on the rails, man. I like what I saw with Top Guns. Another guy, man, probably the guy that, other than Dallas Hobbs, that really stole the show. And then my dude, Aaron Jacobs. Man, how can I not say anything about Amarillo High School's Brendan Housen? Man, dude was off the chains this weekend, man. Dude's strap is money, and he's so competitive, fierce competitor, y'all. Definitely another kid that should be high on a lot of you college scouts, mind, college coaches. Guys should really go out and see this kid play. The big fella that he got in the middle, the Horniker kid, is pretty good as well. I'm trying to, I think that's Cade Horniker. Yeah, I think that's his name. Where is this? Where are they? There it is. All right, Cade Cade is sitting at 6'11". I really thought he was like 7'1". He looks apart. He was blocking shots, got a nice soft touch, 8 to 10 feet out, man. Pretty good smooth stroke. Deadly from the free throw line as well, man. Don't foul him because he knocks his free throws down. And he blocked shots, man. And he did what he was supposed to do. Did not get to see the DeMonte Woods kid. He was running track. They had Taft this weekend. A lot of kids were running track, especially the guys in the country and so forth. The Dallas, I guess us city people, we don't really do that too much. But, big shout outs to DeMonte Woods for him running track. Another dude, MJ Thomas, runs track and so forth. I didn't get to see him this weekend. So shout out to him. There were a lot of others that were doing that as well. But the Amarillo team looks good. And I'm going to tell you, they got a 23 kid, man, that kind of took me by surprise, man. Want to go ahead and give him a shout out. CJ Nickerson. Yeah, CJ Nickerson, 5'8" point guard, man. He really is helping out, as far as shouldering the load, the ball handling duties for Amarillo. And if he continues to improve at this rate, they're going to be hard to beat come regional finals next year. You guys do remember the regional finals this past year, Amarillo against Kimball, and that game went into overtime, and great game. And so I'm definitely thinking that they're going to be much improved next year. Kimball, by the way, might be losing. And the word is they are going to lose Arterio Morris, and I'm going to bring that story. I'm just going to tease you with that for right now. They might be without the services of Arterio Morris, the hot 22 prospect. He might be leaving. So don't have all the details on that yet, but I know it's pretty much going to happen. So be on the lookout for that. Shout out to a couple of teams right quick. San Antonio Fire, Coach Clyde and Coach Art, man. Hey, man, thumbs up. I like what you guys continuously do. No matter who's in that uniform, you guys continue to coach those kids and really, really it's good to see, guys like you continue to do what you keep doing. You know what I'm saying? What you've been doing. Man, that team was so loaded a few years ago. Kendrick DeLuna, by the way, KJ Lewis, they had some firepower on that team for real. And to see, it's the big fish always, gulps up the little yuppies in the pond. And I hate that for teams like San Antonio Fire, because they're such good parents. They've got a good fan base, man, that they treat you well. They've always treated me well, man. So definitely want to send a big shout out to them. While I'm giving shout outs to the guys at Texas Gasso, Texas Hoops, another awesome tournament. The big guns, so to speak, weren't there, but again, that was my cup of tea that you guys served me this weekend, and definitely appreciate always being allowed to come to your tournaments. So great job again. I want to make sure I send it out to Blue, Derek, Sam, Mr. Kuhnstadt, all you guys, man. Thumbs up from the Real Talk Nation. Great job again. Next on the docket, we in court now, y'all. We in court. Did you know that? Week one, I put out the top 20 for the 17U and AAU, and definitely want to make sure that you guys understand that I took a little flack behind it. Of course, you're going to always do that. I had to make sure that a couple people knew that ranking was actually done, 2 weeks ago, and it was prior to the Own the State by Gasso. It was that Friday that I did that, and I just didn't release it till that next week. And before the tournament that Josh threw for Texas was Max Level Elite. Excuse me, I got to get used to saying Max Level Elite. I was saying T Max, because of Tyrese Maxey. So I'm getting better. I'm getting close now. So shout out to Josh Woodson, Woody Terrell Woody, and Vic Cochran. All those guys doing a super job with those kids over there. CJ Lusser, man, is climbing the radar, man, and good to see him really making some moves right now for that program. But yeah, we did that ranking prior to that, and there were some losses, there were some upsets, in that, and man, I was pretty shocked on some losses in that. Matter of fact, Urban DFW, who I had ranked number 7, actually lost to Texas Legions. So man, I was like, whoa. That was somewhat of a surprise. Josh did a great job. There he is. I'm not going to show that, George. I'm going to let because you got into one of your P Diddy moments or whatever on the keyboard, man. Shout out to my man George Clay. He's on live with us as well. Definitely appreciate you for coming on. Also, so getting back to the end, don't forget, y'all, we have a chat room right there. If you guys want to ask me something, you got some questions, or even when I have a guest on or whatever, you can feel free to do so. I'll be looking at that. I got it kept up right now, so we'll be looking at that and going from there. Getting back to the top 20. So as you know, Urban DFW Elite, of course, is going to drop. Texas Dynasty has lost. When I made this, it was including point guard Kobe Henderson, and they took some L's in that tournament in the max level elite tournament, and they took a couple of L's in that one. So they dropped, but I dropped them just a little bit, and because I think there was more so getting used to where they were at, as far as I'm talking about getting used to life without Kobe Henderson. All right, guys like Avery Jackson has stepped up big time. The Henderson kids stepped up big time. They got some guys that can play, and I don't care what nobody says. Coach Zach can coach his tail off, man. He gets those kids really motivated, and I enjoy watching that team play. They play so hard every game. So I do kind of still like them. So they're let me just go down to the rankings were number 1 Southern Assault, Pro Skills 2, Drive Nation 3, Houston Hoops 4, 3D Hoops 5. 3D Hoops, interesting tale right now with them. They are having issues right now without Nas Brown. Now they're still winning. Let's make sure we understand it. They're still winning, and so. But I just wanted to put that out there right quick. Number 6 was Dallas Showtime. 7 was Urban Elite. JL3 Elite was number 8. Why I had them there? I probably should have had them. I thought a little bit higher at the time, but I hadn't seen them. I did see some of the names of their roster, so I said, let me put them at 8 just in case. And then I saw them play that weekend. Oh my God, they quit, and I hate quitters. Oh, I hate a team that quits. But anyway, still got to keep them ranked up there. So I had Texas Dynasty number 9, Lockdown. Austin Lockdown, ATX Lockdown was number 10. I had ASAC Elite at number 11, Lone Star Elite at number 12, Texas Impact 413 at 13, Max Level Elite at 14, Dallas Seawolves 15, Houston Defender 16, Crab 5 Elite 17, THP Elite Blue 18, and then L9 19 and BMM Elite 20. We had a little shakeup, if you will. So 2 weeks later, number one, the first 5 kind of stayed the same. Southern Assault, Pro Skills. I did flip Drive Nation to Houston Hoops. Houston Hoops is now number 3. They had some pretty good wins in Indiana. I'm still a little hesitant about having them ahead of, any of my top ranked Dallas teams right now because they're Houston. You know what I'm saying? And I just think maybe, that those guest players go back to their original team. And I'm not gonna call no names for that original team who's not ranked again in my 20, and because again, guys, I'm an old school guy, man. But Drake said it best. Drake said something about, how did he say it? He said, you know what? Can I find that right quick? Drake had I want to make sure I get I know I get that. I want to make sure I get the right quote on this right quick for y'all. So bear with me right quick. Let me just tell him to send us. I sent the test. All right. So the quote, my friends. The quotes, my friends. Where is my dude? All right, there he is. I heard you was giving your chain of. Well, okay. Hey, I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. Right? Who does that? That's kind of like, that's kind of like giving your fame away. So I can't roll with a team that give away their best players to another team that's in the same pool that you're trying to be in. Can't do it. So you know who you are, whatever. We're going to leave it at that. So I know I don't matter. They say I don't matter, y'all. So I got to make sure I tell them, even though I don't matter, this is still my thing on this. So that's how we're going to roll with it. All right. So that's my top 5: Southern Assault, Pro Skills, Houston Hoops, Drive Nation, and 3D Hoops. My second 5 is Dallas Showtime. Had a great weekend this weekend in Minnesota. Big shouts out to them. My boy, Third Kill, is showing out. He's blowing up. He's providing some of that scoring punch to take some of the load off of Arterial Morris. So I'm really, really excited for Big E and Big Mo and them. They're still staying even kill, if you will. So I'm liking that. Number 8, I got Lockdown, ATX Lockdown. Number 9 is going to be Max Level Elite. They've had some pretty good wins over the last couple of weeks. And I'm at number 9. And at 10, I'm saying with Texas Dynasty. They were 9 last week. I just feel like I said, they still have some kids that can play. That system is still good. Coach Zach, I think, still can coach. His motivation tactics, pretty good X's and O's so far that I've seen. I know a lot of people don't really too much care for him, his antics and so forth, but I like dudes like that, man. Passionate, ferocious competitors, man. I love that. I love guys like that, man. So that's my top 10. The bottom 10, I'm going with Urban DFW Elite, Dallas Seawolves. I'm sorry, not Dallas Seawolves. Urban Elite, Texas, Hardwood Prospects. That's THP Elite Blue. Hey, man, those guys can play as well. The Donovan Santora, I think, kid from Westlake. They got a bunch of Westlake kids on that team, and I'm telling you, those dudes can go. I'm going with Lone Star Elite at 13. We got Dallas Seawolves at 14. I got Crab 5 Elite at 15. 16, the Houston Defenders. 17 is and Texas Impact 413. I say that with tongue in cheek because I ain't hearing nothing about Texas Impact. What is going on with them right now? I love their roster. TJ can coach. What is happening over there? you know, don't tell me. I don't know if all of a sudden having a contract, you forget how to do things or something. I don't know. A shoe contract can kind of change who you are, right? I don't know. Just saying, you might need to get back to what you normally do. Don't let things like that change you and what you're about. Hopefully that's not the case, right? Hopefully. I don't know. I hadn't seen them play yet. I like I said, I like their roster. I just know they're struggling bad right now, but I know the staff, is pretty good, and they'll take care of that. And they'll hopefully get that thing turned around. After that, I got Houston Drive Nation Black. Kid named Jalen Johnson or Jackson, I do believe, out of Houston. Summer Creek, I think it is, man, is really starting to turn some heads. Let me send this to my man, Ani, right quick. Hang on a second. Let me just go ahead and send that to him right quick, so he don't feel like I'm losing him or anything like that, or I'm putting him off. Let's go here. Ani. William. Link to the show. BMM, by the way, elite. I'm putting at 19 right now. Definitely love the way Matt Reed is playing. That kid, if you guys don't know Matt Reed right now, college coaches, man, you guys ain't doing your job, man. Or whoever you talking to ain't really giving you the real right now. Because those dudes right there are can really play, man. And they got a good group of kids around them too. Me and the coach don't see eye to eye on things, but that's okay, right? You don't have to agree. We don't have to always agree. Where you say we do need to agree, just sometimes we're gonna disagree. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. My last team in the top 20. Houston Top Guns, another team, y'all, that I really, really like, man. They're one of my favorite, man. A group of guys out of Houston that I like talking to every time I see them. We sit down and chat. I really couldn't. Hang on, just sent it to you. I really love just to chop it up. I didn't really get to talk with them that much this weekend because ASAC was in town. They had all three of their teams, and I got to do some things for them. So we're trying to get some of this stuff already put into work and so forth from there. So all right, so I sent that to Ani. So that's that. Let's go right here. Go back to this. All right, so that's my top 20 again. Southern Assault, man. What more can you say about Southern Assault and the performance that they had in Atlanta this week? And I know you saw the Twitters. Everybody saw it. I mean, and it was the talk of the whole weekend. Even the Gasso people were raving about what they were hearing and seeing, about the performance that Keontae George put on for Southern Assault. Some guys that are still continuing to shine on that team. Keon Williams, oh my goodness, out of Mansfield Legacy, continues to soar. He picked up a bunch of offers this over this weekend. Big shout outs to him. Congrats to that. Caden Bennett, the Brandon Bennett, head coach Brandon Bennett of South Grand Prairie, the head coach there, his son, Caden Bennett, is picking up some offers from his performance from last weekend. Dude can really shoot the ball outside and really is starting to turn that aggression switch on right now. No more Mr. Smiley and I'm the young guy, type. He's putting that hammer down right now, right? So definitely want to send a big shout out to them and their family, man. That's good news, because if you know the Bennetts are great people, great family and so forth. That kid is one of the ones that you definitely want to root for, man. I love it. Great dude there. Another kid that's blowing up right now, man. Of course, Casey Wallace had a great showing this weekend. Let me ask y'all something though, man. And George, you might want to help me on this one, man. And I don't know if Pete is in the building or whatever, but who are some of the AAU teams that you think should be in? And you know what? Hold on, let me before I ask that. I talked a little bit about open this ranking up to make it more regional. What are your thoughts on that, man? Do you think, because we got some Dallas kids playing for like Team Griffin and Team Trey Young, and they come to Dallas all the time. I mean, you think we ought to open this ranking up to them? Give me your thoughts on that, man. If you want to text message me that, feel free to do so. Because I kind of do want to do that, man. So I did want to just throw that out there to you guys to put some thought or some input into that. Before I leave Southern Assault, oh my God, Finley Bizjack. I saw the games. Mr. Bizjack is playing on that 17U team. I didn't know. CJ Duncanville, point guard, CJ Ford. Meniscus issues. So they might be in the market. I don't know, man. The way Finley played, man, my boy Finley Bizjack. I told y'all this kid can play. He's playing on the 17U. Had quite a few highlights. Sorry, Matt Steffi. Just stay. I didn't mean to take that shot at my boy Steffi. Steffi, I need to talk to you and Josh, by the way. Y'all need to. Yeah. Anyway, we'll say that story for next week, right? Steffi and Josh. Oh my goodness. I need to talk to both of y'all. Anyway, moving right along. Finley Bizjack, man, congrats, man. I saw the highlights. I saw the numbers. Great performance for you down in ATL. I already told you guys that kid can play. And you guys say, oh, he takes too many dribbles, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And to get a shot, the kid can play. And getting buckets is getting buckets. I don't care how you get it. You know what I'm saying? Does it translate to the next level? We will see. We will see. And man, hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. I don't know how this dude is my friend, and he don't realize that I'm on the show from 8 to 10 p.m.
Oh, dog, I'm trying to make sure that how's the weather over there? You good on the weather?
What do you mean the weather? Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I'm gonna come up Loop 12 there because they said the storm getting bad on that southwest side. So I'm trying to figure out how to come home.
All right, bro. That's my dude, Vic Cochran, right there, y'all. Only dude. I had to make sure I answered the phone for him in the event that something didn't happen, right?
I love y'all. Y'all take care.
Hey, man, you got Josh with you? It's so funny. It's so funny you called right when I was just talking about Josh and Steffi. You got Josh with you right now? That's the real reason why I answered the phone.
No comment.
Later, dude.
Later.
All right. So, man, isn't that crazy? Real talk, man. Y'all be thinking I'm making this stuff up, man. All right. Vic Cochran is one of the dudes with Max Elite, Max Level Elite. Excuse me. Dang, I said I was gonna get that right. Max Levels Elite, and I hadn't talked to him in a minute, like in a week or two now. So funny. We're talking about it, and I'd be damn. Boom. There you go. He called. I was just talking about Josh. Hey, man, you got Josh with you right now? I had to ask. Normally I wouldn't answer the phone, y'all, during the show, but I had to. Vic Cochran is one of my guys, man. If something's going wrong or he's got an emergency or something, I would hope that he would know. On Wednesday nights is show night, right? Wouldn't you think? So anyway, there it is. But look how God be working, y'all. I'm talking about a dude and one of his guys. That dude, one of his guys calls me right then and there. See, I'm telling you, I can't make this stuff up, man. That's how this stuff be falling for me, man. Y'all just don't understand that, man. So anyway, some people in favor like that, y'all. Oh, that's good water. Yeah. All right. So I gave you the rundown on the top 20. I told you third kill. Jason third kill for Showtime is showing out. Finley Bizjack is showing out. Also, The kid that brought about this whole shebang about the European player. Uh, uh, what's his name? Johan. At first, it was Johan Toti. Uh, it ended up being Johan Traore. Want to give a quick rundown on how that all started, y'all. Somehow I got labeled as the guy creating mess, creating a stir, or I was the one that was lying. The whole incident started with the head coach for Southern Assault, the director, putting Toti as his last name when it on his passport it was his middle name. You know, you send a picture of that, and it clear as day says Toti, and the last name is right underneath it. How he missed that, I don't know, but that's his story, and he's sticking to it, and that's what that is, right? So automatically, that didn't sound too again, we're talking about Von Zell, right? Von Zell Thomas. He ain't the most notoriously known truthful guy in the DFW, if you will. But he put the wrong information down. And when I put the name in and so forth, I Googled the name up because I thought definitely this kid was definitely too seasoned. You could see that this kid was kind of holding back a little bit to me. And I wanted to see more about him because, I was in a similar situation when I was with Urban DFW Elite when my kid played. And I was one of the administrators there for Jazzy Hartwell during those times. And we had a couple of handlers that were trying to sell Jazzy one of these kids from the Congo that actually played 3 years in Spain professionally. And we knew that was illegal, but they tried to give him a different last name. And so ever since then, I've been going back. Some of these foreign guys. Who is this? What's your sport? So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that I had my suspicion up. There's no doubt about that because I've been here before, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Due to a previous, occurrence with Urban, and coincidentally, the same handler, y'all. Same in between guy was with Urban, and now he's, I guess he's a freelancer or whatever, but he's with Von them as well. And so I called myself when I pulled it up and I put I tweet first, right? I don't feel comfortable about me tweeting about a guy I can't Google, right? Couldn't find it under Toti, Johan Toti. Well, he played at So-So Prep. I go look at So-So Prep, right? And I don't see a Johan Toti. I see a Johan Traore who didn't play. He just on the roster. You understand? And now all of a sudden he got minutes. Everything started changing. Matter of fact, that week, and this is what makes everything look so suspicious too, y'all. This kid didn't put out not one single tweet until that weekend. Hello? That weekend of that tournament was the first time he even put out anything under Traore or whatever his name was. So when we went back to look at it, so things look kind of fishy, but then I'm talking with Von Zell. He's texting me back and forth, and all of a sudden he's able to get the parents of the kid on the phone and talk to, and the guest parents here in America. And all of them, at first the story went from he never played for that team to 20 minutes later, he played for that team, but he didn't get paid, because I said, wait a minute, he played for this team because I put 3 years on there on Twitter saying, hey, hold on, something don't smell right about this now. So now all of a sudden the story changes, and it kept changing. Think about who we're talking about, guys. Talking about Von Zell Thomas right now, right? Hey, man, I don't have nothing against Von Zell. Von Zell is cool people. I just know I can't take him for his word. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? If if you know how people are, it's cool. You can accept people's faults. I accept people's faults. I get that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't always the most truthful guy for me to trust. You follow what I'm saying? So, and that doesn't mean I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I'm out to get him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's not the guy that's going to, I've had relationships with him and his sister, Cynthia, for many years, and I've learned to not always take them at their word, and doing so keeps me out of trouble. I thought anyway, but because this one didn't really keep me out of trouble, everybody started calling me on there. Who told me what? Who told me what? What's your sport? Let me see that right there. They're gonna show. There it is. All right. Who told you? Who told you that? All right. What we saying? Who told me what? I don't know what your sport is trying to say right now. But anyway, so in my dealings with them and so forth, like I said, they're not the one. I'm not really trusting what he's saying and so forth. Again, we don't get there to this problem unless he. Okay, hang on. All right. So watch what you say. So now you bring in Cynthia into this. Make sure you choose your words wisely. What's your sport? I don't know who you are. Don't care. All right, but hear me out on this. All right. All right. So Cynthia brought herself into this, and I was going to get to that as well. Cynthia decides to clown me, saying, "Hey, you going to war with my brother? Blah blah blah. You going to war with me? Big deal." You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you how it happened, and I don't care about this Johan Troy Tati, whatever the hell his name is. I don't care whether he plays or not. You know what I'm saying? That's y'all. That's cool. I'm looking at other stuff right now. I moved on. I tried to move on from that until all of a sudden I became the one that was the liar. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm stating my case on how that happened. I'm not going to make this about bashing totally either one of them right now. I've already said what I had to say on that, and so okay. You said I know you don't care at all. You don't care at all. Okay. So anyway, moving right along. So as the story grew, right now all of a sudden, guys like the Spring Creek Academy guy, um, uh, Manure, golly, I can't say his last name. The coach from there. Listen, we talked, we chopped it up. He wanted to make sure that I understood how their program was and so forth. And I said, you know what? Let's do this. Let me give you an opportunity to come on. Let's talk about your program and how can we dispose of this myth of all the European kids slash African, Jamaican, Congo kids and all of them, right, are so-called illegal to play with us. And so I wanted to give him an opportunity to highlight that with his program and what they do to make sure that their kids are legit. Now, I'm into that story, y'all. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm part of the 2016. My kid played in the 2016 class, and when we played, matter of fact, my son Jules played in several All-Star camps and played with a guy by the name of Thon Maker, who everybody says, and it kind of sounded like the Spring Creek guys and even the Southern Salt guys right now saying, hey, our kids are legit, right? And they said it just like they're saying it, and you can go verify with this agency and this league and so forth. They all said the same thing. They didn't get paid. That kid didn't get paid. He just played on the pro team, and it sounds just the same. So that's another reason why I'm there. Y'all remember Thon Maker, right? Come draft day, Thon Maker wasn't not only 1 or 2 years older, but he was 3 years older than the regular kids his age that he was supposed to be in the class of. 3 years older, right? So now you can kind of get where I'm coming from. Come find out even after that, now we found out he's 2 years older than that. So what I wanted to bring about on this, y'all, was an awareness, y'all, kind of call, if you will, and a roundtable kind of session here to try to figure out how can, okay, since they are playing, what are you doing as an organization, right? And coaches and administrators and so forth to make sure that your kids are legit age-wise. Your kids are legit that didn't play in these so-called pro leagues. They just played, in the because I did come to find that and by the way, Bonzel did text me a very good article, y'all, that kind of helped explain the French league, because again, I wasn't totally aware of who gets paid or whatever in those French leagues. I never really did the research. I'm going to do the research now because a lot of this stuff is getting fishier and fishier by the day, including Spring Creek, who have been knowing about this show for 2 weeks, right? All of a sudden today at like 7:30 decides to not be on the show. Their reasoning behind that, and you know me, I'm going to keep it real. I'm up front. Their reason behind this was some of you guys out there were telling them that I'm going to blindside him. I'm gonna turn this on him to where his whole program is going to look bad. All of a sudden, I'm the boogeyman now. I told the coach, I said, Coach, I said, honestly, I don't know anything about you or your program. I didn't look into anything. I was giving you that platform to come on the show, to speak about your program, to talk, to kind of answer some of these questions that a lot of these parents that that I've got, in this notebook right here that have questions and, in regards to this very exact topic right now. Okay. So so I'm looking at this, right? And I'm listening to him talk about his reasons about now all of a sudden he can't be on the show because now the school has declined the request, and that's fine. That's good. Again, if you guys don't want to come on and talk about how you do things, if you are legit, and or if you're not, whatever, that's fine. That cloud is still there. And because I've talked with coaches, high school coaches that don't want to play that program because they feel the exact same thing. They've got some kind of a different level of playing advantage, if you will. And what are those advantages, you ask? Well, a kid that plays at 14, 15, and 16 for professional leagues, right? That's telling me, right, that they're practicing. They're probably going to school, they say 2 or 3 hours a day, maybe 4. The rest of the day just all working on basketball. That's an advantage right there that your American kids don't have. Now, there's a simple solution to that too, though, by the way, because I'm trying to look at the pros and the cons of this, right? Simple solution is if your kid is that good to where you're thinking about pro, just like their kids are trying to do. They're trying to make it to the pros, right? You might ought to think about going prepping your kid and to where they can do those same kind of hours. Just saying, right? Think about this. And it really got me thinking about how this school system really, wow, it's crazy here, right? You're doing 8 hours a day, right, at school. You got to go home and eat. That's about another hour and a half, right? Take you about sometimes 30 minutes to an hour to get to practice. You practice for 2 hours, right? Go home again, do your homework. What time you getting? Those kids are getting to the bed that are really serious about their game. That and then you got training and so forth too on some of them days as well. It's almost like a job for for the kids of today here anyway. Might need to think about going prep. I don't know. Or homeschool. I don't know. I just know that is an advantage that you can take care of, American families. So let me just put that out there as well. The other unfair advantage. Well, what would there be? What would there be other than that? You know what I'm saying? Other than they're bigger, they're physically stronger. Their intellect is a lot higher. Because they've been in situations, that are more faster, strong, more physical and so forth, as I stated earlier. They have advantages that your kids don't have. And I get that. But the main problem that for me, that I feel that we're not looking at when it concerns these overseas players and the European players is what are these organizations doing to ensure that the paperwork is legit. You know what I'm saying? As far as birth certificates, I saw another ring back in 2015 for that 2016 class. I want to send a shout out to my boy Adrian Moore, a police officer whose son was uh, Adrian Moore Jr. Adrian Moore, I think, is at Arkansas right now. I'm not sure, but he was a 2016 phenom, and we talked about there was a group out of Memphis that had a bunch of Congo kids living in Arkansas, and turned out it was some kind of ring, if you will, of bringing those kind of kids in, and but anyway, the kids got mad with the what do you call it, the foster parent, the handler, and started fighting them and so forth, and cops had to come and so forth, whatever. It was a big old incident back in 2016, 2015, somewhere off in there, and then it turns out all those kids were not legit. Matter of fact, that's how they found out about Thon Maker's real age and so forth during that time, because one investigation led to another, and again, I always say this, and I didn't make this up. Where there's smoke, there's what? Fire. You know what I'm saying? What are you guys doing to control that fire, or to make sure that fire is not becoming a full blown fire? You know what I'm saying? The thing to tear the roof down. So, that was one of my angles in trying to bring them on. Um, um, do they have anything in place like that? I mean, basically just an opportunity to help explain how they go about doing that. This wasn't no 60 Minutes investigation, CBS 60 Minute show into the European player or anything like that. This was an opportunity to help them, kind of explain what they do, and what about their program and so forth. So you look at their kids play; they got some kids that can play. Do those kids look old? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Do I think they're 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 not dominating or anything like that? I mean, they're pretty good. They were pretty good. I liked them, and I like a few of those kids over there. And you can tell a few of them are okay. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, at the end of the day, that was what I was bringing this whole thing up about. As far as the Southern Assault issue and so forth, could care less who plays for them on that. I'm going to watch me some basketball, and if they're on the floor watching, I'm watching Keontae, I'm gonna watch the Johan kid. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter to me on that. That's on you guys. I was trying to bring it to the forefront of at first trying to help Vaughn to make sure he wasn't being tricked into this like someone tried to trick Jazz. And that's what I reiterated to him, but he thought I was on some Brad Ship kind of stuff, as he told some of the people in the Metroplex. But I wasn't. But, sometimes I guess a person's insecurities make people feel on the edge like that when they deal with people like me. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. Totally get that. Like I said, when you're not always telling the truth, that's the way it is. It's okay. This is Cynthia. What you got to say about me? Oh my God. Cynthia, I hope you're having a great day. All I said was again, and I say this to you again. You have your show, I have my show. What was my statement? I says, I told the public, we was talking about your brother, Vonzel. I did talk about the threat that you made a little bit about if I'm going to war, I'm going to war with you and so forth. Anyway, my whole point on this was saying, hey, I don't think either one of y'all are the most truthful people in the world. We've had that conversation several times, and I'm saying it again. You can be upset with me all you want. That's fine. That's cool. We're good. But as I stated my case. I'm telling you again, you got your show. I got my show. Thank you for joining, though. We do appreciate it. Anyway, moving right along, y'all. The case was, bottom line was, we were trying to bring about the issue of making sure this kid was legit, number one. And then we finally got the real name, right? Because when at first he provided the Toti name, someone sent me a text and said, that's because the kid's name is not Toti. So, here we go. That's where the suspicion started kicking in, right? So I go pull up his real name, bam, French league, 3 years, boom. I don't know if it was paid or not. I didn't do no research on that. I just said, hey, hold on. Maybe there's something here. And then, of course, as I said earlier, knowing Vaughn like I do, there could be some fishy stuff going on. I talked with him a couple of times, and at the end of the day, Vaughn wasn't concerned about whether or not, he made a mistake. At the end of the day, he cared about how much money he's already spent on having this kid here, and that's what was disappointing to me. And the bottom line was, I don't think Vaughn cheated, and I told Cynthia that. I told you this, Cynthia, as well. I don't think that he did that knowingly. If the kid is still legit, and we don't even know if he's legit or not legit. I'm not even saying either way now. I put that to rest. What I wanted to bring on this show today was an opportunity to talk about that. How do we get past this myth that these European kids / the Congo kids and whatever are, not legit, or are they legit? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing to make sure that they are? Because we can't afford to see another situation where we had that kid in what was that, down in Permian? Not Permian. Where was that? Down over there by Houston, where that 26-year-old player was killing. And we even had one here in Dallas that played at Hillcrest, they said. Remember? 26 years old playing against 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. What are we doing to make sure that we're preventing this as a whole, as a community? You know what I'm trying to say? So that's what this show was supposed to be about. And he didn't respond on that. So the Spring Creek Academy guy decided to pass on the show at 7:30, and which again kind of makes things look even more suspicious. What are they really doing over there, right? I don't know. Don't care, because again, they're not playing any of the high school teams that I go see. I do try to go out and see my guys Taka and Universal and so forth, because like you said, Ani's coming on this show in a little bit. Let me see where he's at, by the way, right quick. All right. Hold on. A minute, you threaten me. All right. So anyway, had to answer that about Cynthia. Poor baby. I'm fat. It is okay. Life moves on. Again, make sure you understand something. Not everybody is going to agree with you. Not everyone's going to believe that you tell the truth on everything that you say. When you got a history of telling somebody this and then going and telling another person something different, like some people do, right? That's on you. Don't get mad because they done caught you in it and they done suspect you on you. Move on and try to fix that. You know what I'm saying? Now in the green room, there he is. My dear, I was getting a text and figure out where my boy was. Say, man, this thing is getting hot on here, man. I need you to come help me, man.
What's good? What's good? Well,
man, you look in the chat. Look in the chat. Open the chat room up, man. I don't know what your sport is, and the Mindset Radio Show. Cynthia coming in blasting on me, man. Oh. Hey, so
I
she
think it's better
texts me.
If I don't read it. I think it's better if I don't read it.
Yeah, she says. So you claiming my word not right? You claiming my word is right? I got you, homie, and I'm done. Man, we've been done since you threatened me already 2 weeks ago. Anyway, Ani, what's up, brother? So glad to see you on the show, man. God bless you, man. I don't know if you've been listening.
I
You know,
had a chance. You know,
I just basically
my spot.
right. Oh, dang. You know, because Vic called me a while ago, telling me, trying to make sure it was clear for him to come up 20 through my way because he's got to go to Hewlett, not Hewlett.
Right.
What's that? Crowley, rather, from 20. And so he was coming apparently somewhere back that way. And so anyway, he called and asked me about that. All right, so
Yeah.
I've been talking about the situation with Bonzel. You and I have talked a little bit on that, and we talked about the overseas player in general. I want to make sure, and I guess I didn't make this clear enough, right? I wasn't just talking about Johan Tati Traore. I was talking about the whole shebang, the whole pot, right? And because I felt this was going to be a good conversation for all of us, right? Largely because we can kind of put to bed some of these myths about the European / overseas player, right?
Right.
And that was the goal of this. It wasn't a witch hunt to bring Spring Creek Academy down or to take Southern Assault down because they cheated. Very well could have. I told you that back then, didn't I say he could have been very well telling me the truth on that. You understand? It was the conversations afterwards that made me say, God dang, I don't know if this dude lying to me or not. You know what I'm saying? So, this is some people you just can't take at their word, right? We all know people like that, right? So, that was, for me, one of those situations. So anyway, one of the biggest fears that I have now going forth through my experience now in this game, Ani, has seeing another Thon Maker situation or another, what was that kid that played down in Pearland that was like 26-year-old? He played. And then we had one they said at Hillcrest that was 20-something years old, right? You know what I'm saying? So that was what I wanted to have the conversation about what are, like, for you guys as prep schools, what are you guys doing as far as ensuring that the paperwork is good? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you have anything, because one thing, by the way, y'all, I want to make sure y'all know this too, right quick. These shows are not scripted. I don't provide any questions for Ani to answer. It's barbershop talk right now. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people, and I think Coach Manura thought that, am I saying his name right? Because I don't know how to say his last name.
Yeah.
Moner.
Yeah.
Moner. And probably a great dude. You know what I'm saying? And no issues with that guy. You know what I'm saying? At least he tried to call me back. You know what I'm saying? I don't like being canceled 30 minutes before the show, but at least he was being, it seemed like he was being open and honest. But like I told him, I said, Coach, he was worried about being blindsided. If you're doing everything right, what are you worried about somebody blindsiding you for? You follow what I'm saying? Ani, do you feel like you were going to get blindsided tonight?
No, I knew I wasn't. I wasn't really too concerned about it. I mean, we talked about it earlier, about 2 weeks ago, about what you wanted to talk about and just the subject matter. So I was comfortable. I mean, Paul, I've known you for years, so I mean, we've had our dealings, but I knew that.
No. Well, we moved right on past all that. You know what I'm saying?
So
By the way,
I knew it wasn't the case. I know Monir, just talking to him, he was just talking about how the school, I guess they didn't approve of him. He has to kind of go through a governing body that has to approve of him being on the show. Talk about, I guess, because there's more about the academic part of it and some stuff like that. Okay. So I think that's why he couldn't do it. That's what he told me. So yeah, I mean, I hate that he couldn't be on. I mean, I think it would have been really good to kind of get another perspective on it as well. But yeah, I mean, because
their team, man. I think high school teams will play you because they know you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about the Duncanvilles, the Waxahachis, and all that. They don't know him in Spring Creek. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they better figure out some kind of platform to get on to try to get to play these teams. Because I like watching them. I've got some kids that I still got to write about on that team that played in the All-Star Classic at Tony Swindle's thing. You know what I'm saying? So but man, when you do stuff like this, boy, it sure raises people's eyebrows, especially when you do it so late. You had 2 weeks to talk about this. 2 weeks ago, I talked with you, right?
Right, right. No,
2 weeks ago, I talked with him, told him the same thing. But anyway, we're moving on past that. All right, TACA. Explain TACA to us. Give us the definition of that right quick, man.
So TACA is Texas Alliance of Christian Athletes. We're a homeschool program. Been around 5 years, so it was my 4th year coaching. Actually, people didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's my
you snuck that one in on me, Coach. I'm not even used to calling you Coach, man. But go ahead, Ani. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was my 4th year. When I came in, Doyle Moncrief, who kind of was like the director, kind of started it all. He was getting sick, so Makisha Steele, I coached her oldest son back in the day when I was retired. And so someone kind of said, "Hey, reach out to Ani. He lives in Dallas now." And she talked to me, and I was like, "I don't want to get back into coaching because I got done with the summer ball stuff and I doing what I was doing." And she said, "Well, just try it out. We just need something just temporary till Doyle comes back." And I did it. Doyle unofficially, unfortunately, he passed that year.
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
I had these kids. I was enjoying it. Just kind of like I kind of found some love back, just coaching, and especially in that space, especially in the homeschool and stuff like that. So I was just like, let's go do it, right? Let's just keep me on. And it's been really, really just good, just doing it, taking kids in, just really developing them. Getting kids that no one's really talked about, and just doing what I can just to see if I can just help them out and just play at the next level, and use basketball so they can get finish, get their degree, and be able to provide for their future families with it. So that's really that's just the goal of it. I mean, you're not going to see me try to recruit like a top 3 player in the state of Texas, or try to go recruit
right.
Stuff like that. Obviously, for the people that do that, I completely respect it. It's not against it, but I'm just the one that I'll go take a Robert Jennings.
No doubt. That's not a bad pickup, man. I love me some Robert Jennings.
Oh yeah. Robert's great to coach. So it's one of those situations I just like to get kids that kind of come in. They just they just want an opportunity, want a different look, and then just kind of coach them, and we're just gonna go at it. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
I'll try to get them in school. The good thing is, like, I had 2 seniors this year, and both are going to play collegiately. One is going to go play football, and then another one, he's going to go to Redlands and play my point guard, Tyler Mitchell. So, I felt like that was the goal, just to help put them in situations where they can get exposure. You know how exposure goes. You either get exposed or you get exposure, right? Put them in situations where coaches can watch them and do those things. And I'm just happy that those 2 got to, sign and, be able to play at the next level, and mark off one of their dreams.
No doubt. That's awesome stuff there, man. You snuck that coaching thing in on me, man, especially 4 years. I thought this was the first year, and I thought you did a remarkable job, man, coming from where you are, where you were, to where you are now. Just really, you said a lot about you, man. I thought it spoke volumes, man. Your patience, it was kind of funny just seeing you out there doing it. A couple times that I saw it, I was like, damn, he's actually pretty good at what he's doing, dude. And it's just crazy. What has that been like, the transition from being evaluator to coach? I mean, how did you keep things in perspective as far as overall goal of developing players in your program right now?
I think coaching has helped me become a better evaluator. And why I say that is, the little things, really kind of just really mean something more to me now, right? Like guys that will defend harder, or guys that die for loose balls, or these guys that really just go rebound, or you kind of look at, like, I'm kind of in a situation where I'll watch a game, Ryan's last 5 minutes, and now I'm
tell a whole lot.
Yeah, what's that kid doing? Is he rebounding? How's he defending? How's he finishing through? Just little things like that.
Yeah.
See why that's so important compared to you do the overall evaluation. You look at size, positional size, skill, length, athleticism, right? But now you kind of some of the little things really mean more to me now compared to like I couldn't say it was before I started. So
No doubt, no doubt, and that's very big of you to say that on that because a lot of evaluators don't. I mean, especially some of these newer ones that's in the game right now. All they're doing is looking at points. All they're doing is looking at dunks. All they're doing is looking at that athleticism more than the heart. Um, um, right now on your team right now, give me somebody that is probably undervalued right now when it concerns the recruitment that you think ought to be a little bit higher based off of the work ethics that you've seen, practice, game times, last 5 minutes, all that. Give it to me.
Obviously third kill and Rob, they've been getting, they've generally. I still think third kill, especially the spring and summer he's having right now.
Yes.
I think, maybe just a little undervalued, but I think he's really coming along. But one kid especially, I feel like is Braylon Smith, and he's a 2020.
Braylon.
But yeah, but the thing is, like, I also know the other side. Like when these college coaches are calling me, right?
Right.
And then they call you like it's transfer portal guys.
Yeah.
So, in my talks, especially with 23 guys, I know some guys are getting offers. I just posted that Chris Johnson just got a received offer from A&M. I do. He's a little just under. I think Braylon's recruitment is a little is underrated. Like I think more coaches should really just at least have him on their list of guys.
Right.
Have a really strong July. He's gonna have a really strong school season when he comes back to Taka. But I also do understand like right now 23s aren't gonna be a high priority for college coaches.
No doubt.
And so
no doubt.
So I and he understands that as well. But I do like he needs to be more on more college coaches' radar for that class because I do think he's someone that's gonna really show a translatable game and become a high major prospect.
What does he do? What does he do that just that we need to know about him that we apparently we're missing? You know what I'm saying?
I think just with his size, and I think he's really understanding how to handle pressure and make quicker decisions with the basketball.
That was the point guard that I said shoot too much originally, didn't it?
Like kind of lighter skin, light skin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, that dude's shooting too much, man.
You know why he was doing that? So
go ahead.
Watch that Spring Creek game. So when he first came in, didn't have much confidence.
Okay.
So, sometimes what I like to do, and it'll fire back on me times, and just what it is.
Okay.
Is I'm like, okay, go. You have the green light, just go. Like, let's just go, right?
Yeah.
Once it gets crazy, then we can reel you back in. Like, okay, now you have the.
No doubt. And that was early in the season that I saw you guys too, and you had said that he'll be different at the end. So yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, so he was. Especially that game, he probably took about 17 shots.
Woo!
Yeah, he took some shots, and it may backfire to me in that game, but I did like that. He just had the confidence, right? So that was the thing. But his quicker decision making, handling pressure better. Always someone that could score like in spotted situations, like in the catch and shoot, but doing better, making shots on the move, off the dribble. I just think his confidence really there. His body's getting, he's starting to really come into his body more. But just his decision making and just him handling pressure has gone a lot better. And that's why I've been impressed.
Okay. That's awesome. I like that, man. Jason third kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you find out about him?
So Jason's an interesting story, right? So
it is.
He was
very
at it was our JUCO prep showcase, and like he was kind of he was homeschooled. That was the first year he was homeschooled because
no doubt.
Okay. So he was homeschooled. So he was kind of like just trying to figure out some spots to he was playing with somebody, but it wasn't anything like he committed to. Just like I guess some guest play or whatever. Like I don't know. So he played, and then his people came to me like, "Hey, do you have any homeschool situation?" And I didn't even mention me at first.
Right.
Like I mentioned about 5 schools, and then we kind of circle back around. They're like, hey, I say, look, I run a homeschool organization. If he want to come out and practice, y'all see if you like. Hey, we're not,
Right.
not very good right now, but
Okay.
you know, look, you want to come in, whatever. So, so they came to practice. He really liked it.
Awesome.
He had like probably 6'4", maybe 6'5".
Yeah.
You saw him at EAD. It was so funny when he was.
Yeah, that's the story I was looking for.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
you're the one that told me
Yeah.
about. But I
Yeah.
was like, let me go watch him. So he came to our Lone Star Top 100 camp. Then he
Yeah.
was on
Yeah.
but deal. But you were the one that first to say something about him, right?
Yeah.
And then people were like sending me your tweet. And I was like, who is this kid? Who's this kid? I had no idea who this kid was. Like,
Yeah.
so I
Jump out the gym. That's all I know. I was like, Lord have mercy, you gotta see this dude. Well,
yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, you were, and I was like, okay. So I brought him out, and he really liked practice, and it just kind of came from there. It's funny. I tell him, I said, I didn't expect for him to have the summer that he did last year. Like,
Yeah.
Or role play, still having to figure some stuff out. Quarantine
No doubt.
for him. He started working out 3 times a day, and
Right.
he just, like, I remember from March to May, I didn't see him, and then like early June, we went and worked out because he lives close to me. And
okay.
Like he done grew a couple inches.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
And he has a major strap on him too. He can shoot that thing. Oh,
yeah, he can shoot that out of it. So I was like, okay. I was like, I think this is something interesting gonna happen here. And they had a really short summer, and then kind of came to school ball. Even the school season, we won a district and regionals, our homeschool deal, and it was probably like our 3rd or 4th best scorer.
He's
major.
He's on the rise, man. He had a great trip. They were in Minnesota, I think, this last weekend, and Kansas. I'm sorry, yeah. But I know that a lot of people were hitting me up about him, like, man, this dude is killing it down here for Showtime. Yeah. Give me the skinny on him, and I was like, start getting my chest out on that. You know how I get when you talk about somebody I found out, right? He in the vault right now, man. He in the vault right now. I'm waiting to bring that one out. So yeah, so I had a good moment yesterday, and the last couple of days about third kill. So really excited that you got him too, because it says a lot about a coach, man, and the kind of kids that he brings into a program like that. And so major props for you to recognize a kid like that, not just because his athletic abilities as well. You knew the family. You did get to meet the family and so forth. I know you know a little bit.
Family and the crazy
great kid.
The crazy thing is, like, when we first talked to him, the whole purpose wasn't to get him at the homeschool. Like, I didn't even know he was homeschooled, right?
Yeah.
I gave him other options, because one thing for me is that I'm just not going to go out there and just actively recruit. Now, people, like, someone will come to me and say, hey, tell me about your homeschool, right? Or tell me about, hey, we're interested in joining. And then, I'll connect them to, like, my academic directors that you're going to help people through the homeschool process academically. I always want them to feel comfortable academically first before, we even talk basketball. But it's always they'll come to me and say, hey, we want to join, we want to come to TACA, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be someone that's just like, hey, you looking to leave your school, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do all of that. It's always just going to be someone reach out. I mean, Braylon was the same way. Funny thing was, his dad asked me, schools, because they were looking to move around. I sent him a bunch of schools. And he came to me, he said, why didn't you tell me about your homeschool? And I was like, I was like, I didn't feel like it was appropriate time for me to, or appropriate.
Okay.
That's just where I'm at with it. It's not about going out just really, really, really recruiting for me and doing that. Now, again, I have all respect for guys that do that, and like not even bash them. It's just kind of the lane I kind of
No doubt. You're always good about kind of staying in where the lane that you want to be in. I respect that as well of you. As a prep school coach, man, and I know you don't get into the recruiting thing and so forth, and which I know a lot of the regular high school coaches would definitely appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, scheduling, right? I don't know what you do as far as how you come about with your schedule and so forth. I know you've got to play some teams. You got to play Waxahachie last year, right? This last season, right?
We played Kimball. We played.
Yeah.
We gone against Lancaster. High school, John Paul II.
Right.
We we have a pretty loaded schedule as far as just especially for like a homeschool program.
No doubt.
I hope we didn't play any homeschool teams.
Okay.
March.
Okay. You had a good December, November, and so forth. I saw you a couple of times then.
Yeah, we'll play.
Ani, how hard is it for you to get those kind of games against those? Definitely. I know you got good relationships with Coach Nick, and Frere and Douglas of Lancaster, Coach Nick Smith at Kimball and so forth. And I know you got relationships with Duncanville and Waxahachie and so forth. And I think those are some good matchups that I think you definitely need to be getting into. And I know you want to do some matchups like that. What has to happen? What has to happen for those kind of matchups to take place for TACA?
Just communicating with the coach, and then just finding a date, available date, and have a location. And Coach Gogren, Coach PV, I don't think they'll have a problem at all. It's just really just kind of scheduling it at the end of the day. They know where I'm at and how.
No doubt.
Okay. They ain't no tricky business. So to me, I think that's just kind of just what it is. It's just just sitting down, just getting it.
Okay.
The day together.
I got a question out of the chat room here, man. What are the benefits for a player to play at a prep school?
So for
at a prep school and / TACA. Why should they go to TACA?
Just TACA. We're gonna go play a really strong schedule. You're gonna just talking how we're gonna play a strong schedule. We're gonna develop. We're gonna work the kid, and we're just gonna try to do everything we can. So the kid, whatever the kid's dream. What I always tell the kid is like, obviously we got to win. This is a team oriented sport, right? But whatever dream that kid has, that's my dream.
Okay.
Whatever goal he has, that's my goal, right? So if whatever that kid want to do or whatever it is, it's like this is what it has to be, and we got to have a sense of urgency and make it happen. I just think as long as the prep school or wherever school kind of aligns with what you and your child wants, then I think that's where you need to go. I just think I can't talk about air prep school, but I just know with us that's kind of always been our main thing. Is just like kids want to play at the next level, and I don't give even though I am evaluating, I talk to coach and everything like that. I tell them straight up, like, I can't promise you nothing. right? Like I
right.
Opportunity to,
and you know what it takes. You know what it takes to get to that next level too.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't get.
Oh, you going in and out. You hear me good?
You hear me?
Oh, yeah. There you go. It looked like you froze a little bit. All right. So basically, what I was talking about. Let's go back a little bit on that European stuff, right? I was saying earlier before you joined us, huh? He freezing on me. We lost him for a little bit, but I will say this, Mark. Here you go. You came right back. Okay.
Paul, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good. There you go. I was going into back to the segment of not segment, but the situation where we talked about one of the parents had asked me during this weekend, because we was talking about overseas player and what the advantages that they have over our kids, when they're at 14, 15 to 16 getting to play in these pro leagues, whether they're paid or not, it's still somewhat of an advantage because they're practicing all day,
right?
Other than the 2 or 3 hours that they're at school. And then I said, well, they're in it to be pros, eventually, and to get paid. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have the same opportunity as they do. Just go prep. You do the same 2 or 3 hours online, whatever, right? And then you got the whole day to work on your game.
And then at homeschool, I mean, guys, we practice 3 times a week, but they have so much free time. Those kids are getting 3, 4 times a workout a day. I mean, they got a lot of time to get working.
No doubt. Do you have trainers that work with your kids specifically?
So we have Mr. Damon Santiago. He was our trainer.
Okay.
Here he works out our boys, and he'll come in once or twice a week. And you know that was our trainer, Damon Santiago. We actually implemented him last year.
All right. So the next question on this is, Coach, is there, in your opinion, more exposure to colleges in your program versus a normal high school program? Well, it depends on what high school you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to say like just a normal, just kind of, I mean, I guess whatever whatever normal is. But I guess like just a regular high school, yes, I would say that. Any more than like Duncanville or Waxahachie or Lancaster or Temple, I don't think so.
Yeah. Richardson, yeah.
I mean, just all those, you know, I think it's about the same. I really believe it's the same. I mean, I think our kids got a lot of exposure to But also, you know, there's more than a handful of schools this year that got a lot of exposure.
One thing about Ani, y'all, that you might know and you might not know, and I don't think Mark Henry knows too much about you, Ani, but Mark, Ani has been one of the top evaluators here in the DFW area for a number of years now, up under Alan Branch and the Texas boys basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I hate messing up people's stuff because I hate when people mess up mine. You know what I'm saying? But you know me, dude. Anyway. So, and he's done the 5 states report.
5 state report. Yeah, that's my scouting service.
Yeah, scouting service.
Covered nationally.
And it used to be a time where I would really say that nobody was in the gym no more, more than me, other than you. You know what I'm saying? Now, this coaching thing, that kind of kept you away a little bit more. I noticed.
The high school season, it did. It kept me in the gym lesser than I was before. But I had to be smarter.
No doubt.
It's kind of, it's one of those situations like, I ain't getting younger. Like, I do love to be in the gym, but I got to kind of be more strategic for what games I'm going to go watch. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I did more traveling. I went down to Memphis. I went down to Arizona and watched some stuff. I just had to be smarter. It's just being more organized, especially during the scholastic season.
Do you ever have to worry about, coaches seeing you in the gym, worried about you coming to recruit one of their players? I mean,
I'm not doing it. So, I mean, if they are worried about it, I mean, they shouldn't, but I'm not doing it. I mean,
have you never had anyone, check you about something like that? Not yet anyway, right?
Oh, not yet. And, I would understand, but I mean, it's, to me, I'm not even too concerned about it because I know I'm not doing that. Like, that's not my at all. So it's kind of like if someone did, I would respect. I understand that, I get it, but I ain't doing it.
Okay. Now I brought up you've been with Texas boys hoops, Texas boys basketball for about a few years now.
Yeah.
Under the great Alan Branch, one of the pioneers of this game, for real talk. You laughing because you don't always joke with you about that, but being real, I'm smart enough to know my history. You know what I'm saying? And what has that been like, man? Because I used to always mess with you. Boy, you saving him, man. You're the only thing that's making that thing work right now. What has that been like for you guys, man? The relationship. I know he's somewhat like a father to you right now. Throughout these years and so forth, but give me the scope, man. How is he? What has he done for you that's really made you one of the top evaluators that you are right now? Because I'm telling you, I respect your game on that. So go ahead and give it to me,
man. When I first met Branch, I was rocking a mohawk, and you remember me with the mohawk,
Oh shit, you got on you got on a X. You got
Yeah,
an Under Armour shirt now too.
yeah, I got on. Yeah, I got the check. I got basketball. Got cream of the crop. You know what I mean?
Oh, brother, I see it. I used to mess with Adi because he used to wear these other polos on there. And I'm like, Branch, if you don't get this dude some Under Armour, me, you gonna start fighting for real, dude. So he's all Under Armour now. But go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad.
So, I met him when I had a mohawk on, and I was just sloppy. I ain't gonna lie, I was sloppy.
Okay.
Brands really kind of helped with just my professionalism as far as my appearance.
Wow.
And then like he was one of those that said, "Ani, you know what you're saying, you just can't really verbalize it as well as you need to." So he really he really pushed me, especially in the first year or two. I mean, Branch was on my head. You know what I mean? Like, people don't really see that.
You represent him though. You know what I'm saying? He has it. I was like that with Brandon Jenkins.
Yeah.
No, you know, wearing them damn I used to kill me with them slides, man. Wearing the slides all the time. Man, if you don't come in here looking like a scout, we're gonna have a problem, dude.
Absolutely. So
all right.
Yeah, you're right. And so it just appearances, understanding how to, write an evaluation and what cause you're looking at and what's translating. I mean, Branches help with my eye, how to just verbalize what I'm just saying, a whole lot better. My appearance, Branch be on my head, and even to this day, like there's sometimes Branch be on my ass, and like, but it's good. Like I tell him, like we have that relationship. Every time he say, I said, Coach, no, like you know where I want to get to. At the end of the day, like I need that. So like he pushes me, and so that I got all love for him, and I wouldn't, he's been a big reason, for my.
No doubt. Good stuff there, man. Major shout outs, props to my man Alan Branch. Provided this lane for even me. You know what I'm saying? Indirectly. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not dumb enough, to say he didn't help create this lane for the lane that I'm in now. He's one of the guys that provided this for us. For us as as brothers too. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So good that you had that, that experience. Some other guys that you worked with, man. Anyone else that kind of, helped, make you what you are right now that you want to give a little tidbit on?
Yeah, guys like Lupe Nunez, he's been he's been very helpful in the process. Bilal Batley, he's someone that I
That's my guy.
Yeah, big brother. So he's been really helpful as well.
No doubt.
Someone that gets on my head too.
Yeah.
And, I like that. I have a cast of people that I have a group of people in that just is there. They're on me. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Kind of pushing each other, just just to get where we want to get to. I really do appreciate them. That one thing I had to do was humble myself. And not saying I wasn't humble. Sometimes you just gotta have that reality check, like, yo, I ain't yet. So
no doubt.
And so it's really good, just like Bilal Batley, Lupe Nunez. I mean, I first worked with Josh Wilson. I appreciate that because if I didn't work with him earlier, I wouldn't have moved out of Tyler to Dallas. So appreciative of him when I was my first year. But like Branch, Bilal Batley, Lupe. I'm probably missing some other guys, and I apologize, but those guys really good.
No doubt. Good list. Definitely a good group of guys, man. Definitely got major love for my guy, Lupe. Bilal Batley is one of my dudes, man. Love that. Light skin gonna always stay in as long as we got guys like him up there like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Shout out to Keontae George, by the way. We all can go and say, hey, that light skinned dude ain't no light skinned dude gonna do nothing or everything.
That game would have to be the most entertaining game. That's the most entertaining game I've seen all year. Right?
Really?
From the pre-game to the actual game. I mean, it was. I mean, he was called a light skinned. I mean, I can't even repeat all the stuff.
I know. We all can go. They boy, ain't no joke.
Yeah, they ain't play no joke. Carlos, they were trying to get at his head, but You know, one thing about Keontae, you know, and me having, you know, getting to, you know him for years is like, if that was 2 years ago, the way he responded may have been different, right?
Yeah.
Even a year and a half ago. But his maturity, and I think that's one thing we don't talk about, like his mental, just his maturity mentally has is at a different level. Like he's really, really grown as an individual. And the way he responded and just, you know, just went in, still put 34 and got the win, you know, that.
I'm starting to feel like somebody done fed him just a bowl of rocks for the last couple of weeks, man. Because the way he went at Case and Wallace, you know, on the state thing, and then he come back and do this weekend. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, like
what y'all feeding him?
You gotta take that soft label out of him. I think that was one of the things early on, but man, he's, you know, to me, honestly, you know, there ain't 3 players in the country better than him.
Wow.
There ain't 3 players better in the country better than him. And honestly, you know, he's in contention for being the best in the country. He's in the contention for it.
I remember when I was coming to a little tournament. I was at the end. I was a little late. You were walking out. These guys were freshmen. Keontae's class, they were freshmen then, right?
Yes.
And I said, you know, I kind of been getting into it with a couple of the Houston guys down there. You know, the chop shop guys.
Yeah.
And they were saying, you know, Bryce Griggs, #1 in the state.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, now I had seen Colin Smith, you know, I had seen Jordan Walsh, you know what I'm saying? And I had seen Case and Wallace. And those were my guys I was talking about originally. And then I talked with you. I said, man, give me your take on this class, because, you know, I hadn't really seen this kid out of Louisville. You know, you said, yeah, Keontae George.
Right.
What do you think of him? You said, Coach, he's the best in that class.
Yeah.
You said it then. I was like, okay. I got to really see this kid then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy part, man, I saw him play from there on, and I was like, oh, snap. I went on Twitter and said, no, this kid is the best right now. He's gone through a couple of years of growing, and you kind of hit it on the nose when you said the maturity factor kind of kicked in, and there's a different way of living for him right now. That was different from all the rest that kind of spelled softness a little bit, if you will, because last year they said Bryce Griggs, and I wasn't there at the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest last year when they said Bryce Griggs kind of tore him a new hole a little bit, right?
Right.
And so I think he's been on a mission kind of ever since then to kind of change that mentality, because he looked at, the word was, oh, he is soft, from that moment there. I think, and I give Stacey Houston, Jerry Heller, whatever. I always mess with him a little bit, but you got to give him props though. Got to give him props. One of the things I was scared about was, when I was getting on that head on him, was Stacey wasn't going to let him play against those big games, and against those rival games that he needed to play in. And Stacey, made him go out there and do it. And not only did he make him go out there and do it, it seems like they've had a conversation about how he needs to present himself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I definitely think, he's been prepped and it's working and it looks good. Is this something that we're gonna continuously see? Because I'm looking at all these videos. I'll never forget what he told Gazzo. Y'all playing with my rankings. I'm keeping it PG right now. I'm keeping it PG, but y'all messing with my rankings. This is my house. I run this state. After he just hit a 3 and got fouled by Case and Wallace, and he was like, "Oh shit!" That's like the dog has been locked up. You ever train the dog to get me? You go up there, you lock him up in a closet. They used to anyway. I don't know if they're doing that now. I don't do this, Peter. Gotta make sure Peter, they listen. I don't do this, but I heard they lock the dogs up into a closet, leave them in there for a few days. Right. Man, they ain't come out ready to bite anything when he come out. You know what I'm saying? So, it seemed like they done did that to Keontae or something like those lines right now, because he is annihilating people right now, man. What is that like for you, man, to see him, a guy that, you know, we own that label of saying what we said years ago about a player, and it's actually, here's my phrase that I like to say, is actually coming to fruition, right? That's my
Right.
word right there, fruition. What's that like for you, man? To see, a guy that you said has ended up looking like he's going to finish out like you said when he started.
It's a to me it's a I guess for me first it's like a learning experience.
Okay.
You get to see a kid like Keontae. I remember Keontae
Right.
like 13 years old playing, and then
Right.
you go through the process and you see how he's developed, and you know, and, and it's like when the next one comes, you can see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I always knew Keontae has always been talented.
Right. Right. Right.
Always been very talented. And just top tier in his class. But for me, and I, even though I've been in the game for a couple of years, like 5, 6 years now, but I'm still young. So getting to
No
see
doubt.
it from there and just going, like I saw Maxie and all of them, like you just see how they progress throughout the years and how they grow up mentally and just physically and stuff like that. It helps, I guess, for me, like when the next one comes, right?
No doubt. No
Like
doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
you know
You know
what
what you're really looking for now. Yeah.
you know what you really
Yeah.
look. You seen a kid like Keontae, and the label was he's soft, right? He was
Yeah.
soft, he was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I call
Yeah.
him soft. I go to call him soft, and you can't beat me 1-on-1. So I joke with him about all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I
Um,
had saw him at the Waxahachie game. Um, towards the end, I think it was the playoff game against Duncanville. Yeah, at Waxahachie.
mm-hmm.
And I told him that then. That was the first time because I kind of went at his head a little bit on Twitter a little bit because you know me, I'm gonna push buttons. I want the best out of people. You know what I'm saying? And you might not like the delivery, but when you in there, you gonna say something about it. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna understand at the end of the day what that was all about. And so I made sure that he understood. And he flat out told me, he says, "Oh, you're getting ready to start seeing a different Keontae. Trust me on that."
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
yeah,
I didn't laugh then, but I was like, I told I said, man, can you believe what he just told me, dude? I told it. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, okay, we're going to see, right? We're going to see.
right. We'll see.
Jeez.
And one thing I realized with Keontae was, he was capable of turning out like this. Obviously, he has a long ways to go as a player, still.
Right.
But one thing I saw was just a real willingness to figure it out. A lot of kids you talk about, they're capable. They think you think they're capable of doing. They're capable of doing. They're capable of doing it, right? But sometimes we don't say, is the kid willing to do it?
No doubt.
And Keontae was definitely willing to do it, and that's why we're really seeing growth.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. Like I said, the next time around when you kind of see some of those kids in like when because it's so much of a mental thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
basketball is so much of a mental part, just the grind, the everyday grind of it. So
Yeah. You good? You okay? Uh-oh. I just lost your sound. Whatever you just did knocked your sound off. Uh-oh. He's gone off and he'll be coming back on in just a minute. Hang on a second. Nah, but man, all right, there he goes. He's in the green room. Bring him back on. You there? Shit, something going on with your thing, bro. I see you perfect. I just can't hear you now. You done did something to your sound there. Yeah, I don't even see your meter, your whatever what's going on with your mic. Something's going on with your mic right now because the meter on your volume is not even on. Yeah, having a little technical difficulties right now, but Keontae George, man, is turning out to be that dude, man, and he's owned up, uh, especially not only for the 2023 class, but for all the light skinned bros out there. So, got it? You there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. I heard you. Go ahead. There you go.
I had a phone call. I declined it. I guess it just messed up.
Okay. Okay, you good. They knocked off your sound, but yeah. So I was saying right there, man. I gave him the talk at that day, and I says, Keontae, at the end of the day, you are a pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? And I've been there. I know what it's like to be a pretty boy. Now, I'm a fat pretty boy now. But boy, y'all should have seen me when I was in '86, man. When I was in high school.
Pictures of you.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah, I saw. I said, "Look at Paul. I can't even recognize him, man."
Hey, Artie, I was a bad man back then, bro. Woo! Anyway,
I know you
yeah.
talked about the foreign the overseas deal. I know you gotta talk about
Man,
that.
we done went already, give me your take. Yeah, we can go on there. But
It don't
give me
matter.
your
What
take.
you want to talk about? I'm good with it.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
What's your take on all this? I mean, I know you're a foreigner yourself.
Yeah.
And so, give me help me help no not help me understand, help parents out there that might be listening right now, because I'm telling you, I talked with a few parents this weekend. All they kept saying, well, they owe, they pay pro and all that, and it's not fair, blah blah blah. What could you tell them right now that kind of eases them, their mind about playing in this situation like that? I mean, what could you say?
Most of those kids, especially from where, specifically where Johan and he didn't sign a professional contract. From just the sources, I had to do some. I did some digging. I talked to some people. Everything that I got, I know Monir talked to some people part of the FIBA Federation. He never signed a professional contract, nor did he receive money to eliminate his eligibility. I guess I don't know how to relieve the comfort level. A lot of those kids, especially overseas, like in the France, just in Europe, period. I mean, there's no schools, so it's academies, and there's a bunch of divisions that those kids play on. Like, they don't play school ball. It's really kind of like a club, professionally, quote unquote, type of situation. But none of them are playing, signing professional contracts to relieve their amateurism, right? And that's just kind of what you get here. Now, for the age and stuff, I mean, they got birth certificates. You either believe it, right? I'm just gonna believe it. I see birth certificate. They say he's of age. And me personally, I'm just the type, man. He old, man. Let's go bust his old ass. Let's go get him. But I don't. You do see sometimes. I mean, there are situations where people bring in older guys that are, can go purchase alcohol. You know what I mean? And that's not right. But I think a lot more times you do see kids that played in professional leagues or played in a professional league, like probably in the lowest division, but didn't sign professional contracts. And that's most times that we're going to see out of it. And they're of age, maybe maybe they'll turn 19, but it'll be after September 1st, right? Probably in the spring or something like that. Maybe you're going to probably deal with some of that more so than you're really going to deal with a kid that's like 25 years old and he's saying that. But those. I mean, as you know, you met two of them. I mean, and there's been situations where people just bring really old kids, and it's a sad thing that happens. But just from my experience, a lot more times those kids are of age and they haven't signed a professional contract. You're not seeing them play like, just. I don't want to botch those overseas things. Like the real powerhouse overseas programs, like, they're not playing in those. They're generally playing in like Division 4, Division 5, it's just something really low, or just an academy that's kind of that's just developing those guys. Like, Ronnie Turia, he's one that came from those and then went in play. So I mean, you got several situations like that.
Yeah, and when we had talked about that the first time you and I had chatted on this, I told you then I don't know anything about those levels. All I saw is I saw what I saw, and I posted what I posted. You know what I'm saying? Now I said, further review is required. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it wasn't an indictment on anyone. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to find out, but then all of a sudden you got this dude saying this to this director and that director. Then I'm on some Brad Ship kind of, you know, and and again, hold on, dude. I was calling to tell Bond, hey man, you might want to check this before you get to saying something, because knowing the guy that's involved in this, like I do, because he was involved with us, and Jazz got rid of him. Not bringing no names right now. I already talked with you about that. I was trying to help him out. You know what I'm trying to say? Just in case he was being bamboozled.
Right.
That was the furthest that it was going with me, until all of a sudden I'm the liar now. Until I'm this and that. Now what people don't realize, and I don't know if you know liars. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got some friends that lie all the time, right? And they don't realize that sometimes they don't even have to lie. They just end up lying just because they're so used to doing it, right? And I had said this about, oh boy, I told him, I said, point blank, bro, I definitely think you didn't do your research on it from the very beginning. And if there was a mistake made, it was a mistake. Yeah, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't have a Paul Miranda in your program that thought of going to YouTube, overseas kid's name or not, like I did. And I would have never known had I not had it happen to me when I was with Urban DFW with Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. That was all I was going on this. And all of a sudden, he feel like I'm trying to attack his program. I'm trying to attack him. All I said, hey man, at the end of the day, your mistake is what got us to that point. Number one. Number two, the conversations that you had after that with all these, he just sounds like another lie turns into another lie to try to get him out of a mistake. Just admit that you made a mistake, and you're good. Don't come telling me that within 3 minutes of me talking to you that you done talked to his real parents and the guest parents here. In 3 minutes on, you know what I'm saying? He didn't play for that team. 20 minutes later, oh, I talked to him again. Parents and the guest parents. He played for the team, but he didn't get paid.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, and yeah, I see what you're saying. Obviously, Paul, I wouldn't.
Yeah, and that's all I was saying.
And I feel
yeah, and I was leaving. Honestly, I was going to leave it at that. Mm-hmm. Then here come the missiles being shot at. Now he going to this guy telling Jeff Webster something. Now he goes tell Woody Terrell something. Different, and trying to get me in trouble with them dudes. Now the plot thickens. You see what I'm saying? So, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him have that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, guys like that always, I've been in this game for a long time. Guys like that always have a habit of coming back to that same BS that they created a long time ago. Watch what I tell you. So,
in my I guess where I'm coming from with it was just more about the kid. I know, I was getting a lot about is this kid, is he a pro? He shouldn't be playing, blah blah blah. And I was like, he went to Prolific, so there was nothing there. But I said, I'll do some research. I talked to you about it. I said, hey, I'm gonna do some research.
And Manure was going to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Manure was going to bring on.
Manure
was supposed to bring on one of these guys from the French BBA. It sounded all good about who he can bring on the show, and we just get this all out and really assure everybody that everything is good on this.
Right.
Then you cancel on 30 minutes before the show, and anyway.
I feel you. It just with the kid, I just want to make sure that the kid.
Yeah. And again, I wasn't trying to kill the kid.
And I know you weren't, Paul, but and you know this. Like when you put it, sometimes when you put on Twitter,
it's a different way. And don't get me wrong, I when people see me put stuff out there, he done found something. And I get that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted to have an opportunity tonight to, let you guys say what you guys say we're going to do. Let Spring Creek go and talk about what they do and how they do, so we can kind of meet in the middle right here and say, hey, this is why, we need to stop thinking like this, and we need to stop thinking like that. Like I was saying about the instance about why I think, some of you guys are thinking about being a pro. You might ought to go to a prep school. When have you ever heard me come close to being anywhere near saying anything about kids going to prep school? Right. Never. You know what I'm saying? So when I started adding up hours that you spend in school versus the time that those kids out in these other countries and so forth are spending in school and spending on their craft versus how much they're spending on their craft here,
right?
Undoubtedly, they got an advantage.
Right.
But that's an advantage that America parents, families, you can correct. How can you correct that? You might need to think about going to a prep school.
Right.
Bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
Throughout this whole process with it, like, we just communicate, and it's always like, we've always just talked about all this, and it's just like, this is where, you're like, this is what you're trying to do, this is what I was trying to do, this what, so it was nothing like even within the situation where we're like trying to combat each other on it. I just think like let's just put it all out there so the people understand, like, if people can learn from, if they learn something from it, that's fantastic.
I want to see at the end of the day, not only kids have an opportunity to go to school, but to get to that point, as an evaluator, I want to see the best kids play against each other.
Absolutely.
You follow what I'm trying to say? And whether this kid is old or not just that kid, I'm saying any kid.
Right.
That kid that's old is hurting himself more than he's helping those other kids, those younger kids that he's playing with. That's my take on a lot of that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You never heard me complain as when I was coming up with my kids about, that team playing all these older kids and all that. And we played, hell, I played my boy up a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even, from 5th grade on up, we always played up. So I was always a firm believer in, hey, that's helping my kid more than it's helping them. You know what I'm saying? So, I wanted to try to find some kind of way to get that message out there. You know what I'm saying? And turn it to where we can make this, these parents stop thinking negatively, about that situation and spin it so they can see how it works for them.
Right. Absolutely.
You follow me? Yeah, and instead, it turned the other way, where, a guy that feel like he got to be looking over his shoulder with me, for some reason, and I don't know why Vonzell felt like that, because I've never given him any indication that I'm trying to gun after him, but he took it that way. But I guess all of a sudden I'm the boogeyman in the streets now, but that's something I got to work on. I know that. So, but nonetheless, man, we got good dialogue here. It's crazy. Me and you got into it big time one time where you ready to take, knock the yellow off my skin right now. That's, but we talked our way through that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I understood you. You understood me.
Right. And then,
it's gone. It's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We move on to the next thing, right? I said this last week, Dre Rose. Mm-hmm. We went at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we talk. I talk to him at least once a month now, at least. Yeah. Till this day. Would like to see his life get a lot better than what it is right now.
Right.
That's how we do as old school guys. We could, and I told you this a while back. See, I get talk some stuff to me, right? You can. I almost cussed right there. We be capping on each other left and right. You know what I'm saying? It's like being on the school bus, coming away from the games.
Go ahead. I'm still listening.
We coming from the games. We in the back of the bus scoring on each other. Oh, you medicine box head, dude. You know what I'm saying? It helps you develop thick skin. So trust me when I tell you, I got thick skin.
Right.
And and I grew up knowing that, hey man, you know what? If you're gonna fight, let's go and get it out the way. But the next day we're gonna be cool about it. It ain't gonna be a lingering thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how I've always, that's how I've always been raised to do things. And Dre is a lot like that as well now, because we laugh and joke about that scenario in that
Yeah.
box. We joke about that till this day.
Right. I remember
And
you told me about it. I was dying laughing. I said, "What happened?"
the funniest fight ever. We
You
this
want to
guy
fight?
really.
I heard you. You
I'm
want
not going there. I'm not going there. But me and him laugh to this day about it, man. And but the thing about it is, and he had said it on the show. Actually, when me and Buff was doing it, we had brought him on one night, and he was like, "Man, you might want my, you know." But that's it. We forget about it, we move on to the next day. I'll never forget him saying that. You know what I'm saying? And he's right. It's just a different time where people hold on to these grudges, man. And for what? Why? You know what I'm saying? Life too short for all that. Get your stuff out the way once and let it be gone. You know what I'm saying? And move on to the next page. And I commend you, Yanni, because you're a young dude, and you didn't have and you come from a different country, and yeah, I didn't know, that I was really really offending you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When I said what I said, and it kind of caught me off guard, like, whoa, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was all good. I think when we talked it out, it was all good. And we kept it
Yeah,
pushing.
yeah, yeah. But the good thing is that you overcame all that, and we hadn't missed a beat since. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've always said this about you. You're one of the hardest working people in this game, and the game needs more guys like you. You shocked the hell out of me with this coaching stuff, but that's what you love. That's what you love. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do.
Right.
Um, I know we've gone over a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, since you are a media game / evaluator in this process, the game has changed dramatically
Absolutely.
in the last 4 or 5 years now. Some say for the good, some say for the bad. Give me your take on where we're at, media wise, coverage, so forth. Give me your input on that.
I think coverage wise is really good. I mean, you got a lot of you got a lot of media services, or you got evaluators, you got your Sky Service guys. I mean, you got guys. I mean, if you can play here, you're gonna get seen by somebody,
Yes. Right.
which is really good. Um, Sometimes, some stuff that maybe that irritates me a little bit is that sometimes you see someone talk about a kid and he didn't do nothing, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe
Yeah.
you just sometimes they talk about a kid because he is a high profile name, right?
Right.
But they
Right.
didn't,
Right.
they didn't do anything, and
Right. Right. Right.
some of that stuff, that I wouldn't say it bothered me, just kind of like, come on, man, like we watched the same game. That kid had 2 points. I mean, what do we, what, 2 points didn't even
Do you
reach.
ever feel like, I know that calling out people ain't in your game,
Yeah.
anything like that, but
Yeah.
you ever feel like you want to sometimes, just
I don't think calling
close your
out.
eyes, bro. You closing your eyes right now. Open your eyes. Go
No,
ahead.
no. It's like I want to be like, man, what's going on? But I'm like, man, like I want to talk to that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
talk to him. Like, hey, man, like it's okay not to talk about him. This
Yeah.
kid, he didn't do nothing. Like you can talk about the ones that produced, right?
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. Like you're going to watch these kids 30,000 times throughout their high school career, and
Yes,
just there's
sir.
gonna be times you just play really bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but you know, one thing I will say for someone kind of coming up or young, obviously it's you want to get more of a following, you want to get more traction. Like, don't think you have to cover the big names, always the big names, or have to say something about the big names all the time just to feel like you're getting, to become relevant. Just work, just get in the gyms and work and sharpen your eye and do those things and just grind. I mean, just really grind at it and just put out your work, and then it all get there. I mean, I was covering middle school at first.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was covering middle school at first, and kind of just followed all those kids, but it wasn't. Some people will say, "Oh, you talk about these kids, that kid," and I don't even worry about that stuff. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, you just go to my Twitter line. I mean, I'll talk about a lot of different kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
look at my coaches report. I mean, there's
Yes. Yeah.
a lot of kids, a lot of different kids, and I just for anybody, like sometimes to answer your question, it's not more like I want to call them out. I do want to call them out to them, like, hey man, like, come on now, like,
call them and talk to them. Yeah, that's what I mean.
want to talk to them, like, hey man, like, you don't have to do that. Like, I know I know what the feel is. It can be competitive, and I get it, but like, just grind and work. I mean, I think evaluating, the one thing I really just love to do is just kind of like find that diamond in the rough, like you do, just kind of go in them gyms and just kind of just, find it, to see a kid that ain't nobody done seen. I mean, that kind of is like my, that's like, I really like that.
Give me your biggest diamond in the rough.
Ooh, Damian Collins.
Damn, good one. Good one. That's good one. You were the one first on that one. I give you that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one play 17 for Mustangs. I was at a 9 p.m. game. I really was looking to leave. We're at Dunkley Fieldhouse. I can remember in court 2 on the blue side. And I just remember this kid, like the wiry, long kid, just trying to block everything, dunk everything. He was missing a lot of them dunks, but he was trying to dunk everything. And I'm like, who is that kid? And so he said, I'm Damian Collins. And he was like, okay. And then he's like, I said, what grade? He said, 2021. I'm like, you a freshman? he was like, yeah. And then, I'm from Tyler. So I said, what's your number? He said, he's at 903. And I'm like, yo, like, you from me? He said, I'm from Atlanta, Texas. I'm like, so
right up the way. Yeah.
So it just, I ran a camp in Tyler, and then he kind of came down and it was really good, and he was doing really well. I'm like, whoa, like I said, man, and he got a lot better from that time I saw him to then.
No doubt.
I was like, I think this kid could be a McDonald's All-American. Like, I left there, I was like, I think he could be a Mickey D's kid. He needs a lot of work, but I think he can get there. And I kind of looked at it a little crazy. I didn't care about it. And then it just, he kind of performed. He made me look like a real smart man.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, ain't nothing like that feeling though when you call a dude out that early, and he end up, coming to be what we talked about that with Keontae. That was another good pick that you came at me with, man. That was, that I'll never forget you on when it concerns Keontae. So, that's awesome stuff, man. Give me a kid that you felt that you missed on, that the biggest kind of regret kid.
I say Isaiah Stevens. I was just late to the party.
That was me.
Yeah.
That's one of my dogs. That was one of my dogs, man. Triumph gold, baby.
I knew he was he's one of those kids. I knew he was a Division I basketball prospect, right? Could I tell you he was going to go to Colorado State year 1 and produce the way he was? No, I didn't believe that. And he did it. He was just someone I was just late to the party on. I liked him a lot his junior year at the McDonald's Invitational in Houston. I think Allen kind of made a run. I think they got to the finals. And I was just like, okay, I think he's a Division I prospect. And, then when I saw Colorado State and some of those schools, I'm like, man, hey, he's going to be okay there. Now, all conference guy, player of the year in that conference. Didn't see that. I didn't say that. That's one I missed on.
Yeah. Max Amos.
Always knew he was a Division I prospect. I really knew he would have a good career. Oral Roberts, 2 and done, potentially.
You thought 2 and done?
Potentially.
Jeez.
Potentially.
I honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I always knew he was going to be a D1 kid at the right spot.
Right.
And I was one of the first ones on that. I had the inside track on that, of course, because his older brother Mason played with Jules earlier, and so I always knew about the kid. His daddy always sent me the video clips and stuff of him and so forth. So I had an inside track on that one, but to say he was going to be a pro, I wouldn't. There's no way in there I was saying nothing like that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
But that kid, if you know Mace, if you know at Max, his heart, his work ethics, and so forth. None of this is surprising now. You know what I'm saying? To see what he's doing right now, because he's just a gym rat, and he's a hard worker. So sky's the limit for him. But that's good, man. I like that. Damian Collins. We lost him. All right, there you go. I'm sorry. So Damon Collins and Amos, excuse me, Damon Collins and Isaiah Stevens is your biggest miss. Yeah, great story, man. All right, so man, I'm all out, man. What I wanted to talk with you about. Um, any parting shot? Uh oh, I can't hear you. Uh oh, did you get a call again or something? Did we lose him? Well, we might have a hard time getting in. Well, did he come in or not? There he is.
All right, can you hear me, Paul?
All right, there you go. Yeah, I hear you good now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said I'm all out. Questions, man. Definitely want to thank you for coming in. Parting shots, bro. Anything you want to end out on?
No,
Uh-oh.
man. I really appreciate being on the show. Still hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Say it again. I hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, I just said, man, I really just appreciate being on the show.
No doubt, man. First time of many more to come. I assure you that. Definitely was a pleasure, man. This thing is kind of going in and out on me, I guess. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end it on that, man. Ani, again, thank you for joining us, man. Definitely look forward to talking with you another time. That was Ani UMANA of TACA. That's in a new preparatory school here in the DF man. Definitely want to thank him for coming on, man. Great conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I wish it could have been a lot more informative as far as the actual topic of discussing with about the overseas players. Not one in particular, but all overseas players. And I was hoping that we could get the Spring Creek Academy, to kind of give us, their take on all that stuff. So, but unfortunately, they declined. Ani's back. Ani, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you perfect.
I hear you. All right,
yeah, I hear you.
No, I had a phone call, but no, I appreciate being on the show, man. And Paul, we can always come in and talk about a bunch of different things, in this, a little over an hour. I mean, I've enjoyed it, you know what I mean? And we just kind of, we know what our purpose is. There's always good intentions. So, I enjoyed this.
I hope, like I said, this first time of many more to come. I'm going to go on Monday and Wednesdays. Monday nights will be strictly about the weekend that we just saw. Straight, you know what I'm saying, the tournaments and so forth. So I might have you come on from time to time, man. You, Andre Poe, Brandon Jenkins, maybe Buff here and there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Buff getting a little too big time on us right now. So, he got too much time for guys like me now. So, and I say that in a good way because dude is tournaments blowing up right.
Buff really doing his thing.
Yep. 3 years ago, this dude was just a coach of Blueprint 5, getting their ass tore up by 50. By was it Texas Impact 413?
Yeah, and Urban.
Yeah. And now look at the hottest tournament director in the game right now. So big shout outs to Buff on that. Definitely, again, big shout outs to you, man, and all you're doing at TACA. Definitely hope, wish nothing but success to you and your program on that. Definitely love to your papa, your media pappy. I won't say your daddy. You know what I'm saying? I say your media dad, Helen Branch. Definitely thank him for producing. A solid dude in yourself in this game. Because it's a lot of these guys that's in this game, and I'm gonna tell you, when I got in this game, Ani, my mission was to make sure that a lot of other people could see that they can do this. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, everybody and their mama are trying to do it now. Now everybody can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them can. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that are doing it right, you know, like yourself, man, you know what I'm saying? You've been solid from the very beginning that I've seen you do this. And nothing but respect from me to you on that. I give a lot of props to Alan on that as well, because, you know, listening to some of the things that he talked to you about that he had to straighten up in you, you know, just really makes me feel good to know that I wasn't that bad with Brandon. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's always good to see young brothers like yourself and Brandon Jenkins, you know, doing this, and but not only doing it, but doing it the right way, and really having bringing value to this game that a lot of us love, and I know you got to love it to do this. So, as an OG right now, it's always good to see a young brother like yourself, you know, making a difference in this game. You know, not just for us old guys, but for these kids that we're working for out in these streets. So and trying to get these colleges on. So again, mano to mano, brother, I appreciate you. All that you do, man. Seriously. I wish you well, man. Like I said, till the next time. We out. All right, man. You be careful. There he is, Ani Yamana, y'all. My man. My man. Man. So excited to have a guy like him on, man. There's nothing like a dude that was ready to whoop yo, you know what, and still be friends enough with you to help support what you do, man. And I guess when you're trying to do the right things, when people know that you're trying to do something the right way and you're doing it for the right cause, there's a lot of people would want to, you know, be a part of that. And you know, seeing Ani come on the show tonight, you know what I'm saying, is definitely a testament of what we're trying to do with the Real Talk Nation. So next week, get ready again for another hot show. I'm not sure yet what's the plan. We've got some people that we want to talk to about next week's show. I guarantee you it's going to be pretty good, and we're going to have we're going to go into the trick bag right now, the hot topics. You know, I got a bag full of topics that I'm just gonna just randomly just pull out something and then just go off of. You know what I'm saying? And just talk it out and have some guys on here with me to, you know, to debate it, if you will, or converse about it, in, you know, in a friendly way, I think. So we'll go from there. Again, remember uh, the top 20 17s I put out for you today. Southern Assault still holds the number 1 spot. Pro Skills number 2. Houston Hoops, I moved up to the number 3 spot. We dropped Drive Nation to number 4. 3D Hoops number 5. Dallas Showtimes remaining at 6. JL3 Elite moves up to 7. They had a good weekend, by the way. I don't know who they played, but they were out of town. They had a good weekend. Lockdown, like I told you, one of the teams that I'm really excited about, ATX Lockdown. Shout out to Coach Dion and the gang for another fantastic weekend at the Gasso for them. They went undefeated. Max Level, the Elite, moves up into my 9 spot, and Texas Dynasty drops down to the 10th spot, and then that's the 10. And as I told you, we'll kind of look at all that this weekend. I don't know what the tournament is this weekend. I know Big E and Dallas Showtime are having a camp this weekend. So you might want to contact Dallas Showtime about all that. And that's something else I gotta sharpen up on, man, and start getting you guys the upcoming tournaments. Next week, by the way, next week's show is going to be real hot. I'm sorry, I do know about next week's show. Oh man, because next week's show is going to be about who wants to smoke. Who want it, Buff? Hey man, I know some dudes in Florida that's trying to get it. I know some dudes in Utah that's trying to get it. Some dudes in Vegas that's trying to get it. They trying to come to Texas and get this smoke, man. We're gonna talk to. I'm gonna try to get some of them guys on the line too. By the way, man, we're gonna have a little trash talking session, if you will, next week on the Real Talk Nation. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm Paul Miranda with the Real Talk Nation. Oh, excuse me. Always remember that we try to give you something new, something fresh. Definitely keeping it different from all the rest. We out. Y'all have a good evening now. Thank you for joining me. Hey, go subscribe on YouTube. Duh.